Welcome back. We are so excited to have Jenn in the kitchen with us today. And Jenn, just thank you so much for sharing your story with us, because I really feel this is one we can all relate to. Life is just so busy, you know. Jenn has a brand new baby, 2 very busy boys, going from activity to activity and different school schedules. And it's sometimes hard with how busy life is to prep meals, to keep eating healthy, and just to find foods that the whole family enjoys and keep everyone well nourished. So today we're gonna go over some nutrition tips and tricks and meal prep that can help all of us. And so we just so appreciate Jenn sharing her story with us as we walk through that. So I think, so we're gonna provide some nutritional tips and tricks to fall into some of the traps, but I almost feel like, is it falling into the trap, I think, is the wrong way of thinking. Hey, Janine, what do you think?
Yeah, it really goes along with the whole idea of trying to get rid of labels on foods. So, you know, not falling into eating like bad foods and feeling like you should be eating more good foods, but really, again, trying to get rid of those food labels and enjoy what you are eating. So I think that's more the focus, is like, how even when you're busy do you find time to enjoy the cooking process and to really enjoy and savor what you are eating?
Because just a little bit of a recap, Jenn. So what does your typical weekly routine look like for you and your family?
It's mostly just busy with school, and just trying to stay within like a routine for our family of going to bed at a good time, having, you know, my son do his homework or reading that we need to get done, and spending quality time because he's away at school for most of the day. So yeah, and then we have swim lessons once a week, and it doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot when you have 3 kids. Like, it just adds to the busyness of your week. So yeah, and that's, we usually we eat at home a lot. That's something that's important to us, just for like eating healthier, and we enjoy it. And then also we eat out twice a week.
Okay, yeah,
generally,
that's awesome.
to make life easier.
Yeah, and so Janine, what do you have to say about eating out?
Yeah, I think really we could put a lot of shame on us that we're like, oh my goodness, like we should be eating at home. This is really bad that we're eating on the run. But that just adds your stress. And like, really, as moms, we don't need any more mom shaming. There's enough of that happens. And so I think even just accepting the fact that, okay, like this is a busy night. We're just gonna plan on the fact that we are eating out and eating on the run. But then you can plan for it versus doing it as like a last minute thought. So a lot of restaurants, like even fast food restaurants, have nutrition information available on like their website. So if it's one you frequent a lot, you can kind of like look through it one night after the boys are in bed, some leisure reading. And so you can make an informed choice about what you might want to eat, what some of the healthier options are. So then you're planned ahead of the fact versus like showing up and just making rush decisions. And then I think the other thing too is looking at, when you are doing food prep, doing kind of the most you can at one time. So say if you're already making, like cooking chicken breast or something, like cook twice is what you need, freeze the rest, and then it's already cooked for the next time you need it. So say if it is a busy night, but you're like, oh, do you know what? We can cook like some pasta, I have some low sodium like tomato sauce, I have some chicken already cooked, I just need to like heat and cut up. That turns it into a quick meal versus like a longer process. So trying to figure out what you can do, not necessarily ahead of the time where like you wouldn't be making food anyways, but if you already are in the kitchen cooking, what can you do to like help out for the next time?
So Jenn, do you have any, what are some of the things that you would love help with just in the kitchen? What are some things you would think would really help your family, and some questions around nutrition?
Just finding ways to incorporate healthier foods into our diet that doesn't involve a lot of work, I guess. Like,
that's an awesome question, and one that applies for all of us. So Janine.
Yeah, I think with that, and Ashley, you could speak to this a bit as well, but using like pre-cut frozen vegetables and fruit can cut back a lot on time, but also add in nutrition to things. So say for supper, if you have a supper plan, but you don't want to go through, say like assembling a salad or slicing up a bunch of vegetables, if you have some frozen pre-cut vegetables that you can steam, it's a way to quickly add in some vegetables, but not add in a lot, of time.
Or even saute them a little bit for like that taste. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Or like throw them in with the pasta. Yeah.
And that's nice because all the prep work is done. You're not having to chop a lot. It's you just pull it out already pre-made.
Exactly.
And then even the idea with smoothies, you can dump in some frozen fruit. put some yogurt. What's a healthier option for yogurt?
With yogurts, you definitely can find ones that have like a lot of sugar added to it versus trying to find ones that just have less sugar. There's always going to be sugar in yogurt. It's a milk product, so there's sugar found naturally in the dairy, but some do add it in for flavor. So this comes back a little bit to reading nutrition labels, and it's something that can give you a bit more information. So just kind of comparing brands and seeing which ones might be lower in sugar. And these are great for when you're on the go as a mom, and so you're driving the boys to school, you haven't had time yet yourself for breakfast because you're trying to get everyone else to eat breakfast. So it's something that you could just quickly, even like the night before, put the ingredients in like the blender cup in the fridge, and you just pop it out and blend it that morning and take it with you in the car.
That's awesome.
And it's good, nice to put like some oatmeal or something in there too to blend it up, because it keeps you full for a little bit longer. That's what I do in the morning. Just put quick oats right in there and then and blend it right up, and it's kind of like gives it like a bit of a thicker tendency to it, but it like fills you up for a little bit longer and like gives you that extra energy that they provide. So yeah.
Well, and even just, I think the big thing too with smoothies to make them healthier is what you add for the liquid into the smoothie. And a lot of people add juices, fruit juices, which are high in added sugars. In our house, we do coconut water, and coconut water is a great option because it's high in potassium, especially for myself with my heart issues. I really have to be careful with my potassium, and potassium is one of the harder ones to find in our day-to-day diet. So coconut water is a great one without adding a lot of those added sugars. And the kids don't notice the flavor.
Okay, that's just
Yeah.
That's always a question.
Yes, I know, that's the biggest thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it adds that liquid to it, but without adding an odd flavor that the kids will be like, what is in here? But even getting the kids involved with making the smoothies. And then the other option too that we're gonna talk about more in the next segment when you come back with us is slow cooker meals. And I know for every mom, for a lot of households, busy households, slow cooker meals are the key. And then another really good tip too, actually, that a friend of mine told me, so this is not my own idea, but she does a lot of her meal prep during the day. And I think that's actually a really smart approach, because a lot of times we tend to leave it till when the kids come home from school, right before dinner time, and we just feel so exhausted. So doing meal prep during the day when the kids are at school and when we actually have a couple minutes to ourselves is a great time to be doing meal prep. So awesome. So when you guys come back, we are going to be making some really yummy, fast and delicious healthy meals with Jen. So welcome back. Ashley has prepared some recipes that we're going to share with Jen just to help incorporate the importance of Korean culture into Jen's family, but also the foods that we know that the kids are going to like and eat. And so Ashley, let's see, what do we have prepared for us today?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, we're gonna start off with a basic meatball recipe that you can pretty much use for anything. Right now we're gonna make sweet and sour meatballs, but we're gonna prep the meatballs in advance so that you can actually freeze them after you're done cooking them too. So it time saver, right?
Yeah, perfect.
So right now we have some oats in there. And I also have some scallions in there as well. So if you want to put the hamburger and the turkey into there, it's not necessarily all the time you have to add beef into everything. Like if you are just wanting to make it into a turkey meatball instead, that's totally fine.
Mixing the two meats together can actually help out a little bit, not just for flavor, but you also still get the health benefits from the beef and the iron, but it cuts back a little bit on some of the fat as well.
Oh, okay.
And so if you just mix it up a little bit, and then instead of rolling them out by hand, you can also get your kids involved, or if you're just squeamish to touch meat, you can just use an ice cream scoop. There's different sizes of ice cream scoops, and not only are they good for like cookies and muffins to like make things equally sized, you can also use them for meatballs. So I'm gonna get Jen to just try and do that. Okay. So just press it up against the side, and then just put it right onto the sheet pan that's lined. And then once the meatballs are all done, you can put them in the oven for 350 for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then they'll crisp up. If you don't have oats on hand and you have some stale chips like taco chips or anything like that, I use that a lot in my filling. So like instead of using oats, I'll like crush up some taco chips and I'll put that in there, and the texture, the crunch that you get is kind of really nice and satisfying as well. For the sweet and sour sauce, we have ketchup in there. You can't use tomato sauce, you can't use salsa, you've got to use ketchup. There's something in the spices of the ketchup that actually makes it work. And I know it sounds really weird, but trust me on that one. So we'll put some ketchup in there. So if you want to put some ketchup.
Sure.
Perfect. And then, yeah.
I'm so happy to do it.
And then we have some soy sauce, if you had a little bit of that, or tamari.
So just a little bit?
Yeah. And then, yeah, so half of that.
Oh, half.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. Cookie, if you don't make a mess when you're cooking, you're not having fun. So put the pineapple juice in there. Another trick, if you have canned pineapple, you can just put the canned pineapple plus the juice right into the sauce. You don't actually have to do the pineapple juice plus the frozen pineapple. You can just do it that way. Okay. So then at the end, you'll put the pineapple in, and you'll also add some water to the sauce. You'll bring this to a boil.
Janine, what's a better option then for canned fruit versus, because canned fruit has a lot of added sugar, right?
It can, not always. So it's something that we think about because a lot of canned fruit is packed in like heavy syrup or in juices, which does add sugar to it. If you get that type of fruit, you can rinse it off and it gets rid of a lot of the extra sugar. But you can also find canned fruit that's just packed in water. And so you just have the fruit that's present in the sugar naturally.
And Ashley, would that work as well if you did canned fruit with water?
Okay. Yeah, because you still get the pineapple taste from the like pineapple juice and stuff like that. So that's what you want. And then so you add a little bit of water to this, and then you add a cornstarch slurry to thicken it up after it's come to a boil. So a couple teaspoons to cold water, mix that up, and then put it into your simmering sweet and sour sauce. So, and then as it thicken up, just take it off the heat, and you can save it for later. So like if you have a busy day during the week, then a couple hours before you're gonna eat, just combine everything into the crock pot, like the sauce and the meatballs, and just set it on to warm up for like an hour and a half, and then it'll be ready for you to serve. And you just have to have your rice cooker on, or if you don't like rice, then noodles or something. Yeah, okay. So super simple. And like I said before, you don't have to use all your meatballs either. Like you can freeze them after you've cooked them, or freeze them beforehand. Like just on the sheet tray, you can stick it right in the freezer, and then they're easier to handle when you put them in the...
Yeah, I would even do that just batch cooking, just to have on hand.
Yeah, and you can use like marinara sauce. Like you don't have to use sweet
yeah,
and
it
sour
doesn't
sauce
have to be that. So. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we're just gonna make a simple dressing for 2 different types of dishes that you can do just a simple add-on to get the vegetables and stuff in there.
Okay.
We're gonna put some tahini, some sesame oil, garlic, and some soy sauce or tamari. So if you wanna mix that all together, and portion-wise, we add more soy sauce than we do oil, which is different in making North American dressings usually. Okay. And I think that's just for the acidity and the fermentation for the cooking. Can you speak a little bit to the fermentation?
Yeah, something that's a great part of a lot of Asian cuisine is fermented foods. And so we talked a little bit before the show about kimchi, but fermented foods are great not only for the probiotics, but something that a lot of people don't know is that how the bacteria start kind of breaking down the food before we even eat it can help make it more digestible for us and also free up more nutrients for us to digest.
So ahead of time, we've taken some tofu, and we've just cut them into strips and then pan fried them. No oil, no nothing, just fry them really simply. And then you can take some frozen vegetables. You can totally saute them or eat them cold. That's completely fine. You don't have to cook them. And then, so if you want to mix that together, we'll put some of the tofu on top of the veggies, and then there's also a kind of like a coleslaw that we can make as well. And then just we'll add a little bit of sugar to this just to sweeten it up a little bit.
I love sesame seed oil.
It's really
so yummy. And so distinctly like Asian flavors here, Korean for sure. Yeah.
And Jen, maybe while you're mixing that, you can give us some background on why Korean flavors and foods are really important to your family.
Well,
considering everything we're making here is kind of infused a bit with
yeah, well, my husband is Korean, so, and like food is such a big part of, I guess, his culture too. And it's important to us. We want our kids to be able to eat the food. And it's delicious. Like Korean food in general is delicious. We just have a picky older son who has a hard time eating it. He made it, like he said to us once, he's like, I don't like Korean food, I just like English food. And we're like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
So we've just been trying to encourage like him eating it more, and we're wanting to incorporate it more into our diet. So yeah.
I think that's really smart.
And it's good to like incorporate small bits at a time too, and not to overload kids, because sometimes that can just be overwhelming, right? For such little.
So sometimes the infusion is a good thing, even though you lose a little of the purity of the original.
I know that bothers my husband sometimes. Like he's pretty.
Keep it pure.
Yeah.
So it is quite a thick dressing. So if you are wanting to put some rice wine vinegar or something into the coleslaw, you can definitely do that. And then we're just going to give it a stir, and that's it. Nice and simple, and you can top it off with some sesame seeds. And this is a good side to have with the sweet and sour meatballs, just to like add some veggies and some green into the meal. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just a good way of adding like the flavors that they're
Absolutely.
not necessarily used to eating.
Slowly introduce them, exactly. So when we come back, desserts are a part of life, and it's good for kids to foster those healthy relationships with food and know that there's no such thing as good or bad. So treats are definitely a part of that. And so when we come back, Ashley's going to share a wonderful dessert recipe to share with the kids and the family. Welcome back. So Ashley has prepared a really yummy and delicious dessert that Jenn can prepare with the kids, and that the whole family will enjoy. And as we're standing here, we cannot wait to enjoy it either. So what do we have here?
Right, so we've made a little bit of an ice cream cake. Sometimes I make it in like a round dish as well, and then put the cookie crumbs up the side. But in this case, I've just made it in a loaf pan and put the parchment paper up the sides. So you just want to melt the pan a little bit when you're releasing it, and then it'll come out. So we're gonna start with, it's a cookie crumb base. So you're gonna crush up some cookies, anything with a cream filling, because that is what sticks the cookies together. So you're gonna crush those up really good, then add a little bit of either coconut oil or some butter at the bottom, and just press it firmly down in there. Then you're gonna make a chocolate fudge sauce. So you're gonna need 1 small bag of chocolate chips and 1 can of condensed milk. Melt that over medium heat, and make sure you're stirring it all the time, because it does burn quite easily. And then it kind of comes together, you'll see it like turns into like a fudgy consistency, and that's what you want. And then as soon as that's done, just take it off the burner, put it right on top of the cookie crumbs, and then you'll want to cool it down a little bit. You can either make a pureed berry sauce, or you can just take whole berries and put them into the chocolate fudge and freeze that for a little bit. Take out your ice cream and soften it up, just so that it's easy to spread, and then it can refreeze after the final product. So while this is freezing and cooling off, because you don't want to add hot to cold, because it'll just turn into one goopy mess. So you're going to take some Greek yogurt. So just spread some Greek vanilla yogurt over top of the berries. And if you don't want vanilla yogurt, I mean, you can use caramel yogurt. You could use pretty much, it's totally up to you. And you don't have to use vanilla ice cream either. Just whatever's your favorite. And omit the berries if you want to do like a mint chip. Like, it's totally, the options are kind of endless for this, and it's super easy.
And something the kids, I feel, would enjoy so much, getting to prepare this. Yeah.
And kids that have peanut allergies can eat this, as long as the chocolate is safe, and the ice cream, there's a lot of peanut-free options for ice cream nowadays too.
And that's actually a good tip about the ice cream. And Janine, you can step in here too. Choosing actually a cheaper brand of ice cream, because it's usually, when I did the label comparison, it's a lot lower in the saturated and trans fats, because it doesn't have the heavy cream, but it also doesn't have the added sugars that you usually do get. So I've noticed, if you look at your labels, it's actually the healthier options seem to be the cheaper ice cream options.
Well, and I like that you brought up the fact about looking for the higher sugar when they are replacing fats, because we notice that happens a lot. You still want that flavor there, and so when people do cut back on either fat or sugar, the other one tends to increase. And I know with this one here, we up the nutrient density a bit by replacing some of the ice cream with yogurt as a lower fat option, and also adding in some berries for some more nutrients as well.
So yeah, definitely look at the labels of your ice cream, because you can make a healthier option or healthier selection.
So after you're done, just top it with some shredded chocolate or some shaved chocolate, whatever your family really likes, and you can dig in.
So Jen, tell us, what do you think? Are the boys gonna like this?
Oh, they'll love it. I'm gonna like it. It's so good.
And Jen, while you're trying this, I know one of the questions you're asking me about earlier is just about sugar and kids, because it's something that we hear a lot about, right? And kids like treats, so there can be a lot of pressure from them to have treats. And again, it comes back really to trying to form that healthy relationship with food. And so again, instead of labeling food good and bad, just trying to have a bunch of healthy, we say nutrient dense, but foods that have a lot of vitamins or minerals in them around your house to offer your kids often. So things like fresh fruit, and promoting that also as like, this is also a treat and something you can have, after your meal. But then also when you do have treats like this, not labeling them or talking them down, and even being careful what we say to ourselves, not saying, well, I shouldn't have any of this, but you can. And I think it's important just to promote that there can be a healthy balance, because kids, especially as they get older, are going to find a way to have the foods that they want. So if it's not at your home, they usually will seek it out at a friend's house, or if they're going and buying treats. So just having it in a healthy environment that you can include both in a balanced diet.
So what do you think from everything here today? Do you think this is something the family will enjoy? And
Definitely, this looks great. Thank you so much.
oh, well, thank you so much for being on here with us today, and hope we've been able to equip you guys with some real smart tips and tricks, some helpful meal planning tips and guidance, and just some creative ways to just get the whole family enjoying the same meal. Because I know for you guys that's really important, not to make a lot of different dishes. So yeah. So we will see you next time on The Complete Plate. Let's check in with Jen and the family to see how they're making out with all the new meal planning tips and tricks.
You guys want to help me make some of the stuff that Miss Loren and Miss Ashley and Miss Janine taught Mommy how to make?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah? Do you want to help?
Okay.
Okay, Caleb, can you pour this stuff into this bowl, please?
Okay.
Good job. Now we're gonna warm it up in the microwave.
Okay.
Okay, so you come with me.
Okay. And what do I have?
Your job is coming up soon, Noah, okay?
Jen, Dan, and the boys are making the warm Korean tofu rice bowl for lunch.
Mixing the rice a little bit, okay?
Good job. Hey, your turn, Noah. Yeah, fluff, fluff, fluff.
Good job. You guys are such good helpers in the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna add the sauce over the vegetables, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
What
And
about
then-
the tofu?
Oh, good call, Appa. Let's put all of this in here.
Okay.
And then Caleb, you're gonna pour
This.
over top. Yeah.
Okay.
Drizzle over top.
Carefully.
And then Noah's gonna help Mommy stir it all up.
Good job.
For you.
Very gently, Noah.
No one gentle.
Can Mommy do it with you?
I'll do it too.
Good.
Ow! Somebody's hitting my finger.
Sorry, Noah.
Sorry, Noah.
Okay, yeah, you can try. We're gonna try this out. Okay? You're gonna give it a taste test.
And whoever made the bestest wins.
Okay.
There is no winning thing, Noah. So what?
What's step one? Yeah.
Just in one of these bowls.
Oh. And my upper,
Yes?
I didn't get very much jobs.
Okay, you can do
That's enough, right?
you can do step one on your bowl, okay?
That's good. That's good.
Here's your bowl.
Actually, I think this my brother just grabbed my chicken fries. Noah.
Okay, that's enough rice, I think.
That's good.
Yep, that's good. That's good.
Now step two.
Caleb, do you want to do your bowl?
You can do mine.
Okay. Do you want some broccolis? I know for sure, hey?
Yeah.
How about some carrots?
Good. Yeah, carrots.
Caleb, do you remember these?
Say ah when I do.
They're water chestnuts.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
No, that's my job.
Now, your job, Noah.
Noah, you want to try the tofu, right?
Yeah, put it all in, Noah. Put your veggies. No, that's Caleb's. From here into your bowl. Good.
Goes into your body.
Yeah, use the grabber.
Good job. Okay, that's probably good, hey? Okay, Noah, do you want some sauce on your rice?
I don't want any.
No, you're gonna give it a good try, okay?
Let's see what the boys think.
Have a taste
Okay.
and see what you think.
One of these.
Those are big bites, guys.
Mmm.
Is that good, Noah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that
Very
good?
I loved it.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good. Thank you, Miss
Yeah.
Ashley.
Can you try some of the broccoli? Do you know this stuff's really healthy for you? It's got a lot of good nutrients for your growing body, hey?
Does it have any iron?
Yes, it does. A little bit. And it's very nutrient dense.
Yeah. Do you guys want to try some dessert now? Should we make us some dessert?
Yeah.
A healthy relationship with food means leaving room for dessert.
What do you think? Do you guys want a small slice or a big slice?
Small slice. I want a small slice.
Small slice? Okay. Small slice for you.
A big slice for me.
Oh my goodness.
What is that?
This?
Yummy ice cream cake.
Delicious.
Mr. Hey, that's an eyebrow. That's Noah's.
Okay, and you want a big one?
Yeah. Ow! That's what
Sorry, Noah.
and that cause.
You guys gonna spoon your berries over top, Caleb?
Use the big spoon.
Okay, Noah can go first.
What?
This
What?
Yeah, just this time, and then Caleb can go next. Get a good scoop, Noah, of all the fruit.
What do you think about that?
Guess the fruit's good.
All right, Caleb, your turn.
Okay, good. Can I eat some? Hey, no. I'm gonna get your spoon. Mm-hmm.
Just wait till Caleb's done spooning his fruit.
Eating.
You don't really want to eat it, do you? All right. Do you want
Okay.
some juice over top? Good job.
Okay, now pick up your spoons and do a cheers. Ready?
Cheers.
The boys dive into the homemade ice cream cake with berries.
What do you think?
Does anybody want to share with me?
Yep.
That's very nice. Thank you, sweetie.
Mm-hmm. Very good dessert.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Complete Plate as we shared meal planning tips and tricks with the Kim family.
We will see you next time on The Complete Plate.